Welcome to your ears, the Stinky Popcorn Boys.
We watch movies and eat popcorn. And you're stinky.
Hello. We are the Stinky Popcorn Boys, just some boys talking about movies and how they made us feel. I am Patrick Basquel, and if I had to be quiet, I would die.
And I'm John Gilardi, and I'm still trying to get over that nail on the floorboard.
It's always a problem.
Yeah.
It's always a problem, man. I don't remember why they put it there in the first place.
You don't remember why it's there?
I haven't. It's been so long since the first movie. So today we are doing a very special Stinky Popcorn Boys. Today we are talking about we are fresh from the theater. Fresh from the biggest release.
Yeah, Stinky Popcorn's the boy first. It took us almost 60 episodes to get here. With the big asterisk and a big butt. Mm-hmm. We started this during the pandemic.
Started it during the pandemic.
To be fair. To this little thing we do.
So we are fresh from the theater. We just saw A Quiet Place Part 2.
Yep.
And
my first theater out of the my first movie experience back at the theater from the pandemic.
Good for you.
Yeah. Have you seen anything in the theater yet?
I saw Wrath of Man.
Was it
which
worth
was
it?
a guy. No, it wasn't worth it.
Okay.
I feel like we've. I could. Anyway, yeah, we didn't.
Well,
Yeah.
This is my first one. I'd say it's worth it.
Yeah, I think that if there's a movie to see in a theater, especially because, I mean, if you've seen the first Quiet Place, if you've seen the first Quiet Place, you kind of know the premise. I hope you have seen the first Quiet Place. If you haven't seen the first Quiet Place, please go watch that. Then go watch the second movie. Again, this is what we do here. We're not fucking around.
We go right for it.
We're going. There's
we're pretty much movie review badasses.
Yeah, we're just fucking. Hey, fuck you.
Fuck giving spoiler alerts. We just go.
Not fuck you, but like, come on, we're doing this together.
Someone like a Facebook group for JT, shared the Stinky Popcorn Boys and was like, oh yeah, JT, they have a podcast movie. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And some other fan commented, yeah, it's good, I guess, or something like that. But they just rip on movies all the time.
Yeah.
They rip on the movies I like or something like that.
Sorry about it.
And ever since then, I just like the idea that like we have this reputation.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
Stinky Popcorn Boys being hard on movies.
So we watched A Quiet Place.
Part 2.
The movie is... I mean, if you haven't seen the trailer, you know what it is.
You know what it is. The world... All right, so the monsters come down... And they hear real good, and they don't have eyes, and if you make noise, they kill you.
And they're super lethal, and they're armored.
Yeah.
And they're questionably aliens, which kind of gets confirmed in this movie.
Yeah. And then, so at the end of the first movie, there's like there's some big stuff that's going on, and
You want me to synopsize
You
the movie?
synopsize the first movie for me.
So the first movie is a family.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
The Abbotts, starring John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, real life husband and wife duo, directed by John Krasinski, and it stars the family. They have a couple children. Well, they had a few.
They had 3 children.
They had 3, and then they had 2, and then they have 3 again because of the baby. But
that so far still, even after watching the second one. That scene with her giving birth in the tub, it is not. That's fucking tense.
Heavy. Yeah, and so the movie again, the premise is this family is surviving the kind of alien apocalypse where these aliens are these super hybrid, like athletic. Did I say athletic twice?
Yeah, they got great wingspan, dude. They would make killer defenders.
Yeah. They're just super deadly monsters with armor. And so they can't be shot, and they only hear.
Yeah.
So you got to be quiet, basically. And naturally, that movie, that whole premise, that's the premise, basically, lends to super tense moments. And so anyways, the family in the first one, they have all sorts of security measures set up.
Yeah, killing it.
It essentially gets compromised. And Lee Abbott, John Krasinski, he sacrifices himself for his children.
Spoiler alert.
And then so his daughter's also deaf, which is, I guess, pretty thematic. and gave them a leg up on knowing how to sign.
Yeah.
And anyways, so
Which we saw in this movie how they were able to innately kind of like accidentally survive that first initial like attack.
Yeah. And continue summarizing it. So basically, his daughter's deaf, has a hearing aid. He keeps tinkering with it, and it's not clear if it's on purpose or it's just one of the ones that it's just probably completely serendipitous.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one that gives us weird feedback, and she starts to notice the aliens react weird, and so at the end, she kind of amplifies it somehow. I don't remember how exactly, but then Emily Blunt sees that it's exposing their soft tissue brain, and she blows them up, and then they're like, okay. Actually, that's it. That's the end of the first movie.
That's the end of the first movie right there.
And then the second movie picks up right off from there. Picks up right off from there.
Picks up from there.
How does language work?
Picks up right from there.
Yeah.
Picks up right from there.
And so that's kind of to get you guys caught up. More so maybe for the ones who have seen it, refreshing Patrick.
Yeah,
maybe.
refreshing me. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And I don't know. How do you want to start this?
All right, so let's synopsize. Now that we've done the first movie.
Synopsize this one?
Synopsize the second movie.
So
I'll do this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just did a lot of work. So in this one, we kind of flash back. We're like, hey, look, this is the first day it happened. And then we catch back up. We pick up right after the end of the first movie. I think it's essentially almost the same shot that they're like, he's like screaming, holding his ears, and she's like, hey, fucking come with me.
Yeah.
They walk for a while. They gather some supplies and stuff, and then they walk for a while. They're trying to get to a place. They're trying to get to the fire. They see like this signal fire off in the distance, and there's traps, and the boy gets his... This is just the whole thing. Anyway, the boy gets his foot caught in a fucking bear trap. They meet Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy is like, I'm sad and set in my ways. And then the daughter is the deaf daughter is like, I can figure this out. She finds like a little code in the radio, and she's like, I'm gonna go fucking help everybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to these other people.
She wants to transmit her frequency thing.
Yeah.
On the radio.
Again, only listen to this if you have seen this movie.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe we shouldn't talk about because it's just fresh in theaters.
No, this is hardcore.
Okay, this is hardcore. This is what we do.
We're badasses.
This is what we do. We're hardcore. You've had time. You have expendable income.
You've had a week.
No, that's all you get with us.
Come here if you want to see the movie, or maybe I've had reviews of. I've listened to reviews spoiler free or spoilers are out there. They're throwing them out there, and then maybe actually go and watch the movie later on. So, the people who want to see it will go see it. The people who don't, this may help them.
Oh wait, so why did they put the nail there?
Oh yeah. So the nail is, it was part of like one day John Krasinski's character was leaving there, and something like his foot caught or I don't know, and it pulled up the nail, basically. It was just one of those accidental things, and then
she step on it?
It zoomed in on it, and it's coming back later.
And she stepped on it when she went on later.
Yeah,
I remember that because I remember her stepping on it later because I was like, oh man, the hits keep coming for Emily Blunt.
That's what this movie's kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, stuff happens, and we'll spoil it later as we go through it.
Yeah,
because like they go out there, and then like kind of everything comes to a head as like. Emily Blunt has to go get supplies because her son is gonna fucking get gangrene.
Yeah, and then they need oxygen for the babe.
They need oxygen for the baby, and then
because they have a baby during this noise alien apocalypse, and so they shut the baby in a crate that's soundproofed with an oxygen tank.
Which is all right. So here's a question that I had: is it an oxygen tank? Because I don't know should you be breathing that much, like just pure oxygen.
Especially being like
days
being old.
An infinite?
An infinite?
An infinite infant. Because that's the thing, too, that I think is like, I don't know a whole lot about babies or pregnancy and stuff, but it's just interesting to me that this takes place like almost immediately after she gives birth.
And she's walking around.
And she's walking around, and not that I need to see it, but I'm pretty sure...
Was it postnatal stress or something?
Well, there's postpartum depression.
postnatal. Did I make that up?
I mean, postnatal. It might be a thing. Prenatal, postnatal,
Yeah.
prenatal. What is natal? I don't know what this means. We're not going to
Kids.
infant. But so I don't know a whole lot about it, but I know that she's got a shit ton of milk in her boobies. Maybe.
Well, I guess I don't know.
You know?
I don't know if that's something that slows you down.
I don't know if it slows you down, but I know that they're like. I know that they like.
I mean, she just gave birth, lost her husband.
She just gave birth, lost her husband.
What I don't like is that they didn't give them a grieving moment in the movie.
But they don't get a chance. Like, it's real life, though. They don't get a chance to grieve.
Well, I thought they were about to do it when the two kids are in the... Because they take cover in this kind of furnace, I guess, whatever.
Yeah.
And there was a moment there where I thought they were going to, like, grieve for a second together.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it that they need to survive and they need to keep moving. Like, shit's going, adrenaline's pumping. Like, you got to be on your game all the time in this world. But
I just feel bad for Emily Blunt.
There's got to be a moment to grieve.
She just gave birth. Like, again, I can't. Like, she just gave birth. That is one of the most impressive, like, physical feats that a body just does.
Well, they kind of like... They lend to like when the daughter goes off because she wants to save the world. She goes off as kids do in movies and stuff.
Yeah, they do a great job. They always do a great fucking job of just going off in the middle of a fucking apocalypse, taking the only weapon that they have.
Exactly. And so Emily Blunt's like to Cillian Murphy. She's like, "You need to go do it. You need to go save her, bring her back."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, cool." She needs to like because he could stay and watch the kids, but she knows that I bought that as.
Yeah.
She needs to take a chill pill.
She's like, listen, I just gave birth, bro.
Yeah. So
like
that was I appreciated that, I guess you could say.
And I think too it's like that, and I think they also kind of hinted, like she had a little waddle like when she was like walking away.
Yeah, and it could be the limp too.
Yeah.
And you can
I mean, she just fucking went through it, bro. She needs a moment. I want to.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt, whatever the name of the character is, again, that's kind of something.
Abbott.
It's something that's like that. It's an interesting thing about this movie because, and like both of these two movies, where you sort of like are so close to these characters, but you're not able to. It's a beautiful thing, like that they're able to do because of the lack of like dialogue. There's so much focus on face, what they do to tell you about who the characters are, because you don't get to they're like, oh yeah, I like to go get my coffee and I like to have my coffee with sugar. It's like you got to see those moments.
Yeah.
Not that having sugar in your coffee is a big deal, but
screenwriting 101 with Patrick.
Yeah, make sure your character that's nice has sugar in his coffee, because then you know they're sweet.
Yeah, exactly. That's the line. Also, a lot of sign language stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
Almost part of me wants... I mean, I get why they put in the subtitles, storytelling beats, but it'd be cool to see a version where they don't.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you need it. You do need it. Maybe.
I think you do need it.
But I think there's like a purist... Like there's a purist example of watching this movie without it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it makes the movie any less.
It's funny, back in the days of pirated movies, and I'm sure there's still pirated movies, but I just don't do it anymore. I'm an old man, so I'm like, I'm just gonna pay $3 or $4. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I was like, oh man, I really want to watch Pan's Labyrinth, and so I downloaded I downloaded a copy of that movie. I'm sorry, Guillermo. I went to go see. I've seen your other movies in theaters. Okay, I've paid my money. I've also rented Pan's Labyrinth since then, but because the pirated version that I got was just Spanish. There was no subtitles.
Oh.
But it was still really cool to just watch it.
Yeah.
You know, and I wonder, like, obviously there's stuff that I missed, but it was still like very cool to just watch it that way.
I mean, I used to spend many summer in Norway, and everything is subtitled. That's in English,
Yeah.
so you get to read this. I read the subtitles as they were speaking
Yeah.
English, so I could cross-reference that. And then there's only stuff I could watch that was only in Norwegian. And so while being in Norway for months, not months on end, but weeks on end,
Yeah.
by the end it's like okay, I get it. Like that's how like sometimes people can just catch on to a language.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's such a unique situation where I have the combo of hearing English and reading Norwegian,
Yeah.
and then only hearing Norwegian and contextualizing it. Like I wonder if like there's something there with I think that there's a lot of like I think that could be a good base of learning language.
Oh, I mean, movies are so good. That's when I understood, like, because you understand, especially the way you understand speaking so much better. Because that's in French class when we watch like the cartoon version of Les Miserables, or the original Beauty and the Beast, and then like watching movies that you already know in English,
Yeah,
in a different language, like Finding Nemo or whatever the fuck.
yeah,
You know, it's like, oh, okay, all right. Oh, comment tu veux? Oh, yeah, I understand.
that's the thing I say.
Yeah, this is the context. This is the, this is the vibe of it. Yeah.
Back to this movie.
Back to this movie, not French class.
Did you? So let's talk about these aliens for a second.
I want to.
So, first thing, what is their goal? Just destruction? I don't think they eat.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing I was thinking. And I came up with an interesting theory while I was watching it because I was bothered by their just like, kill, run away, kill,
Yeah.
run away, kill.
Well, okay, this an idea just pumped in my head.
Pop into it here. Go,
What
go,
if
go.
they are a avant-garde kind of unit or like a pest, like a pest?
That's what I
that
was
this
thinking.
alien race shoots into a planet so it can neutralize the intelligent populace, because I'm sure they've done their research, their
Yeah,
recon, and then when it's been neutralized enough, a couple years, then they come in, colonize it,
Yeah.
good to go.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I thought it would be a little bit more interesting if it was kind of like if it was like an experiment. If it was like, so, all right, so imagine this, and I'm going way deep here. I'm making it as total bullshit. I'm making it up 100%. Alien race, super advanced. They're fucking like engineers and fucking that. They're super advanced. They're scientists. They're killing it. They've got this space station, and they're doing their cool space station guy stuff, and they're doing some like tests, and they don't want to ruin their home planet, so then they're just doing these tests on the space station. And they accidentally create these things, and it's just like one fucking guy like was like, oh shit, and they create these things, and then like maybe they end up back on the home planet and they propagate, and they're like, ah shit, these are like iguanas in Florida, get them the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
We don't fucking, they're all over the place,
'cause
and they're hard to kill.
They got like laser guns so they can penetrate the armor.
Yeah, and they're like, but it's still like hard to kill them because they're fucking, they got great wingspan, they're armored up, and they don't have eyes and stuff. And they're just like, oh shit. So they like blast them all off.
Send them away.
They just blast them off, and it's just like complete accident. And the thing is, because of the way that space is, it's like this would have been like 2,000 years in the past.
Yeah.
Because of space, because of the way, or even longer, even.
Yeah.
Because of fucking light years.
Interstellar stuff.
And the way
Christopher
that-
Nolan's like,
And the way that time works in
Yeah.
space, because it's fucking bullshit.
yeah. It's so stressful.
Don't think about it. Don't think
Yeah.
about it. Don't think about how
Well,
space time works.
So in this movie, we get introduced to the source of these creatures, and I love the open of this movie.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating. Like where were you when, or what would you do?
Yeah.
Kind of thing of like when shit hits the fan, or when the apocalypse, or whatever the heck it is, and it's so good because it's just like a normal day, baseball game, and everyone's having a fun time. And
I
then
love it too
and then
because it
just shit
opens
hits-
in the beginning. Because it opens in the beginning and it's like, it's like
Yeah.
the shot of the fucking
empty
city,
empty Main Street.
empty. It's just empty and it's like blah blah blah, And it's like, oh my god, what are they gonna? What's
Well, then
happening? Where's gonna come?
And the truck came in. I'm like, they're stupid. They're gonna hear the
what
truck.
are you doing? And then it's like day one,
Yeah.
bitch.
And they're like, oh, you got me, Jim.
Jim. That's
Jim
the whole
Halpert.
time. The whole time he's doing, because the whole movie is just like tension building, like quiet, blam.
And then,
So
yeah.
that it's like, because I was sitting next to you in the thing, it was like they're on the train scene when it was like, bird, ah!
It's like
And then it's like corpse, ah!
it's like fuck you. And then but then it shows because there's a monster eventually. So there's like she's on this train. There's these beats with the birds, and then there's a beat where
Where'd she go on the train?
I don't know. It's like she goes on the train like looking like as if she knew the first aid kit. It's weird.
Yeah.
My guess was she was taking a break.
I thought I thought she was going to take a piss.
Because her feet were bloody.
Yeah.
Well, I thought she was going to a bathroom, but then it said "do not enter" or something like that, which
I thought she was
obviously
gonna
wouldn't be on a bathroom.
Yeah.
And then that begs the question. I think you just pee your pants because there's no noise.
Yeah. I mean, I would dig into the ground a little bit.
It was
Dig
still
into the
putter.
ground.
You have to get really close to the ground or something. How would you pee in this world?
Well, I mean, inside places it's clear, like you would like pee in easy places.
Did they have an outhouse when they had their homestead?
I don't know. We're not supposed to be thinking about this that much.
I want to know what I need to do when this happens. Anyways,
Yeah, when this
so,
happens.
So you kind of see their source. So it's an everyday, normal American day baseball and orange slices.
Yeah.
And so it looks like an asteroid coming in, and it's super ominous. Like it's like, what would you do? Like, what would your reaction be? Just like when the next crazy fucking thing happens, what are you gonna be doing? It's gonna be a normal day. Anyway, so it happens, and then shortly after, the monsters start attacking, and I think it's a very quick turnaround to when the asteroids not even maybe perceived to have landed.
Yeah.
To when the aliens start. So I'm thinking like that it's crashing through the atmosphere, and it's scattering these fuckers everywhere on its way down.
Yeah.
So
Because it doesn't seem like it's like originating at a place. You know?
where they're coming from.
Where they're coming from. Because otherwise, I mean, unless they just freaking move, dude. Unless they really freaking move.
Yeah. Well, it's like, what did they? I mean, they're
And it doesn't seem like they eat. Like if they were hungry.
But what's their like everything burns energy, or do they not burn energy? Like how do they absorb energy to burn it? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think eventually they eat, but we never see them eat, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And
I think we'll learn a lot about these things, but you know what you learn in this is just the asteroid thing.
Yeah.
And it's already actually alluded to and kind of in the first movie with the newspaper clippings of like
Yeah.
invasion, and it shows an asteroid.
Yeah, I almost like how little we knew in the first movie. And I mean, not that I like...
Well, and they don't do it like a lore dump in this one, you know?
No.
Like there's tons of movies. Like, hey, even Star Wars starts very closed,
Yeah.
and there's references to stuff, whatever.
And then as it gets bigger, they're like,
Yeah.
here was all the stuff that happened before.
Better yet, John Wick.
Yeah.
It's
John Wick is a good example.
Like he's the legend. It's the legend of the man. All this blah blah blah. And the Continental is just you see a slice of it, and it's a good slice. And the second and third ones are fun movies, but the magic of the first one they'll never recapture.
Yeah.
So that's a good example of it too. But I think this movie does a great job of it's not scaling up too much.
No.
Like you can tell it had a bigger budget because it had more alien,
and
more
it went
people.
went to more places.
Yeah.
And I guess too, it's like I guess an interesting thing is that like how far away. Like it seems like they're always right on the edge.
The aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very because in the first one they say there's 3 in the vicinity of where they're at.
Yeah.
Confirmed, and they kill 2. But yeah, they're suspiciously always around the corner
As soon as you make a noise.
Yeah,
And it's like, I get it. But like,
there needs to be
it's
enough.
not like they spawn as soon as you make noise.
Yeah, it's like a video game
It
character.
does seem like that.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough like. There's not enough situations where they slip, and then they're all quiet, and it might have been the first one. I might be wrong, but in the second one, definitely not.
Yeah.
And they look around. Okay, cool. Nothing happened. You know, there's none of that in the second one, and I don't know if there was enough like
Because that all right.
Because
talking back and going back here too, it's like as people became more scarce after the first day and they fucking wrecked everybody, they would, if they were feeding off of people, they would have to be a lot more. They would have to be a lot more fucking cognizant about how they hunted.
Yeah.
You know, so they would have to like actively go out and hunt because we don't see any dead bodies. Well, we do in the second movie, but in the first movie we don't see a lot of dead bodies, which might be a budget thing, but also might be the fact that they've eaten them.
Totally. I mean, maybe.
And because it's like, so I guess it's like, why did they not? If they know where they are, why aren't they more active in hunting them? Because they do seem like just like kind of malicious.
Yeah, well,
all this is, I mean, I like it. I'm just
I think
like,
one of the biggest like I don't buy it quite. There's a ton of I don't buy it, or I don't buy it. Moments in this movie, this universe.
yeah,
But one of the biggest ones to me, and it's forgivable because it's whatever, is the so they're auditory creatures. They react to sound.
yeah.
Why was that not like? So sorry, backing up. So the
Back
whole
up.
like the whole frequency thing with the daughter's ear
Yeah.
thing, and how it's their weakness. How is that like? I don't believe, if this is a real world situation or whatever, which obviously isn't, that anyone in the in power or scientists or whoever consulting
Yeah.
would have thought of that.
Yeah. Well, but it all happened so fast, I think,
Yeah.
is the idea, is that it all happened so fast. So that it's
yeah, but
and it's also like,
but
it's,
this kind
it's
of
not, it's also not like, I mean, and I guess too, in the real world, because I know that they prepare for so many fucking weird scenarios, like, because didn't the CDC were like, hey, listen, yeah, here's our fucking handbook for zombies,
yeah,
you know, and like,
I mean, there's plans on like subterranean aliens, like we have plans for everything.
but it's like this, such as like, all right, what if large melee creatures with auditory sensitivity crash land on the planet
Yeah.
all at once?
Mm-hmm.
What happens? And it's like, okay, well, if they're auditory, or what? How are they? I don't know. Go off of any different things that you might think,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, what if? Yeah, I don't know. And it's like, how do you prepare? Because it's not something that you prepare for, I guess,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there's definitely no preparation for it. What I want to see,
what do you want to see, dude?
I want to see this extended universe and not Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead universe.
Oh my god.
Because this is cool, and obviously they're going to stick with this storyline. It's cool. But I would love a spin-off just set in this world, or like maybe even like a Vignette series.
Yeah.
I think that kind of shit needs to be done more. Is essentially Black Mirror, but different stuff.
Yeah.
Like a zombie apocalypse. Different stories.
Kind of
in
like
that.
they do with The Walking Dead, where they have like, do they have Fear the Walking Dead?
Well, they have that in shows. I'm talking about like a season where it's just an episode of different stories.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a chapter in The Stand that's like that. That's like
in The Stand.
The Stand, the Stephen King book, where it's like, it's just a chapter where it's like essentially a paragraph or two paragraphs or sometimes just a sentence of like how all the survivors of the flu died in different ways once everybody sort of died.
Oh.
It's like really interesting, and it's like, and they weren't good enough.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
there's have you read, there's a zombie survival guide by Max Brooks, World War Z. Have you read World War Z?
I have not.
I love the format of the story. It's chronological, beginning to end, of the zombie apocalypse.
I like that movie too.
Yeah, especially with it could only have been better too. if it didn't have the weird production, whatever happened
Yeah,
there.
they had a lot of problems with that production.
Which is stupid. That like put money in that movie. It's
I
gonna
think
do
that's
well.
I think that movie is the reason that Brad Pitt started his production company.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, Charlie Krasinski's doing well. The fucking Jim Halpert from The Office is crushing it.
Yeah.
It-
I mean, Brad Pitt produced 12 Years a Slave. He's got an Oscar as a producer.
yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
So World War Z, the book, is a beginning to end canonical story, not canonical, but like chronological,
Mm-hmm.
and each chapter is a different perspective, just at a slice of that timeline.
Huh.
So through the progress.
Cool.
So that's awesome storytelling. I
Yeah.
would love to see something like that. Maybe like an HBO 10-part miniseries.
Yeah.
You know, something like that, or yeah. All that to say is I want to just see different things of this, and I think I'll get a fix of it from The Last of Us, and that's part of why I like this. Is it feels very Last of Us, just like America fell apart,
Yeah.
and how our average people, how are people kind of scrapping together. I guess.
That was one thing that kind of bothered me. It didn't bother me, but I was like, when we meet Cillian Murphy, and the daughter is like, "You're not him. You're not Lee," and it's like they kind of like.
He wasn't trying to be.
He wasn't. Yeah, that's like I was like, he's not trying to be like Lee is your dad. I don't. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, yeah, he's pretty, like innovative and like making the best of what he's got. But he never struck me as like a brilliant, like crazy, like
Yeah.
guy. I don't know, and it was just like
I liked his character. I think I liked him, the actor.
John Krasinski or Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy. But I think him being a good actor made me like the character more than I maybe should have with someone else.
I don't know. I thought it was good.
Yeah. Well, so what do you think about the dead wife corpse?
I understand why he left it there.
Yeah. So that was.
But the reason that we found it made no fucking sense to me. I'm so
Yeah.
like
It just we needed the kid to do something.
Yeah, and he just did something so stupid and so like the
We needed something. We needed noise to be made.
yeah, like having the
He's already injured. Why can't like?
why would he go if you got bear trapped? Why would you put any more weight on that foot, especially if? I mean, again, I guess you don't know, but it's like the more weight and like the more stuff, the more like blood that goes to it. You just got to keep that elevated.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know why they did that.
that was just an interesting choice for that little boy to be like, hey, I'm an asshole, and then also to have the audacity to get shocked.
Yeah.
Like again, I'm not like it's just like what did you think was going to be behind there?
Yeah.
And also, why would you fall down? I mean, it's because he's injured. He's like lost his balance. It all makes sense. It all tracks.
Yeah.
And it also tracks that he's an idiot. Fucking.
He's a kid.
He's an idiot kid, and
Kid
he's
just
doing
go
the
in there and
thing.
fuck things up.
But it's one of those things that it's like, God damn it, don't do that.
Well, it's funny because when he mentioned his wife had died, because Cillian Murphy, his sons died the day of the apocalypse, day one,
Yeah.
and so him and his wife survived for most up until what we saw. She died a couple months, about 3 months earlier from where the movie takes place,
Yeah.
and
Oh, I think I understand what your question was now. Keep talking.
so at that time when he said his wife had died, I was like, man, what would I do with a body in this situation? I couldn't make noise, and I was like, I guess I'd carry it in like a nice little glen or clearing. What is a glen? And then lay them down softly.
Hey, what's up? I'm Glenn.
And cover them up nicely and leave them, and never go back to that spot, or maybe wait a very long time
Yeah.
and let nature do its thing. Because you're not burying them.
Yeah, it'd
And
take too long.
you
too
could
much
cremate
time.
them, but who knows what kind of noise that'll attract.
You could do like
Your best bet, you could put them in if you're by a body of water, but you might poison the water for someone downstream. That'd be kind of
Yeah.
weird. But what do they do with the body? I think I would put him in a clearing, or I get why he did it. He left her there, made her nice, and he probably never went back up there.
Yeah.
So I didn't think anything weird of him. I didn't think any less of the character. Was creeped out. Like, oh man, this guy's a weirdo.
No.
I don't think, and we weren't meant to feel like that.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people who maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I just because I thought about it before I saw it, so I don't know if that predisposed me to being super understanding to it.
I didn't think about that at all. I didn't think about whenever, because I figured, because that's what I was gonna say, is like I figured that his wife got by the aliens.
When he said that she died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed. I didn't think, and it wasn't until like that's what I assumed in the moment when I first saw it. So I didn't think about what would happen, because like that's is like what would happen to the body? The aliens ate it. It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so but when I did see it, and now I was like, oh, well, how did she die naturally, and not via alien?
Because he said she was screaming a lot, so that wasn't addressed. I'm guessing I'm guessing she
probably
in a
was,
moment of lucidity said,
"Put me up here."
Yeah, or
like inject me with fatal injection.
I mean, I think probably the easiest one was maybe smothering her, but that she'll make noise.
Oof, I wouldn't be able to smother my wife.
I don't
know. I don't care how sick. Oh man.
But like, how do you poison her? I guess you find something poisonous and you give it to her.
Lethal injection.
Yeah.
Or you purposeful D.
Yeah.
You know.
There's ways, I guess.
I mean, yeah, there's ways, but it's like, it's not like that's the whole thing of this universe, and that's like one of the great things about it. That's like any of those like little nitpicky things we could say about the aliens. It's like the premise is you have to be quiet. You have to be quiet, and you have to, like, in the first movie when she's giving birth in the bathtub, and like that's an excruciatingly painful thing.
Yeah.
And she has to stay quiet, and like just the amount of control and stuff, the amount of control, like, and or the wife in the second movie, which we didn't see, is she's in pain, and she is like screaming in pain because she's sick. Maybe she's got cancer, maybe whatever it is, and it's like she's putting everybody at risk through her pain, and it's like you got to make those decisions. And I thought in the first movie, it's like, are they gonna kill this baby, or like what do they do? Because a baby is so fucking loud.
It's a liability. Even a toddler, which we saw in the very beginning of the first one, is a huge liability.
Yeah.
And like even in this one, when she goes back to the basement where it's watery, I was like, this bitch about to drown this baby.
Yeah.
It wasn't being filmed in a way to lead me. I was like, also like, is she gonna? But obviously, she went to go grab some things.
And I think it's like the sort of like the human perseverance element that's like really cool about it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm pushing through. She's doing the thing.
Well, I like that this is more about human survival, not about human degradation of society or whatever. And it has a little bit of it.
It had a little bit of it.
But like that's why I like this movie, is it's more just about survival and just kind of that decay of civilization.
Yeah.
Without the the devil that's inside all man or whatever. Yeah.
It's much more like, and we got more to that in this movie, where it was where there were like people who had for some reason turned evil or whatever. Which is an interesting choice to me.
I don't think they were turned evil. I just think they were
not evil,
kind of more scavenger type people, I guess, and
which there's something to be said. It's like, if you get a group of people together to do that,
and their intentions weren't clearly shown. Like,
it felt pretty clear that he was like, all right, she's my new bride.
Well, yeah, but who knows? Like, it also could have been like, yeah, it's probably that. But they didn't kill him, which makes me believe it was like, we're gonna take her and go.
Yeah.
Take her supply. I don't know. But on their side, I think they're relying on human self-preservation, but I also I would just not fuck with it. Yeah. Like, they would have been better off taking their shit and letting them be.
Yeah. Just give us your stuff.
But it's such a liability because all they need to do is make a noise.
Ah.
Yeah, and then and then it falls apart, and it did.
Because they spawn 50 yards away from where you make noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the sun really fucked me up just because
He hasn't added much to this.
He's only taken away, really.
He's fine, and like
He's fine,
being
and
in
he's also
like being a thing in the story. It's a good. The character is there. It's good. It's fine. It doesn't need to not be there.
Yeah.
But as someone watching this, who gets very stressed out, he's bringing a lot of stress.
And he's also like I think too. The thing is that he's consistent. Like he's kind of And I'm not saying this in a mean way where he's like he's consistently a fuck up, but he's consistently a fuck up. You know, because I think in the first movie, wasn't he the reason for one thing, or he was the reason that whenever Dad got hit, he yelled and was like, ah. But but even within that, he still has his moments of, oh, I fucked up, I'm gonna fix it.
Yeah.
You know?
What I do like him because I put myself in that situation as a, whatever he is, 11-year-old, 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And like totally 100% be like I could not hold my shit together.
Yeah.
I was fucking afraid of asteroids hitting my house every day in second grade when I learned about dinosaurs. I was terrified of that shit.
No, I get it.
So come to like put myself in that age area and where there is something actually out there fucking terrifying, like, oh my God.
Yeah, but he still and then he still has his moments where he pulls it together.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
Well, so what's weird about him searching the factory?
What was he looking for?
Yeah, what is his goal? But also, if he's such a big wimp, not blaming him, but if he's like, I identified with that, and then I saw him doing it, I'm like, why would I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm not that like my perspective or identifying with him, but like it was just like that. That isn't right. That didn't feel consistent with the character.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was more than anything, because him being scared and falling over makes total sense. I get it.
Yeah.
But him actually going up, like him being like, please, Mom, don't go. Please, Mom, don't go.
Yeah.
Is like, all right, chill. But as soon as Mom says... and
his goal was that he was looking for a lookout because he was probably anxious about where she was. So that was his goal. I remember that now.
Well, yeah, because he was looking stuff, but then he got distracted.
Yeah.
Which I understand.
So I guess the goal is a little bit makes more sense, but it's still to me out of character.
To me, it's like it hasn't been long enough. I know that it's dark out, but like, listen, this baby scares me because I don't understand this baby. I want to stay as close to this baby as possible.
Yeah,
you know, I'm 11, you know, and I want this baby. I don't want to be responsible for this baby's death. Maybe I'm a little bit mad at this baby right now because I've got to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. This is this is scary.
Yeah.
My dad died 4 days ago, which is something that's like, all this is happening within the span of like the first two, the
100% no more than a week.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's like, which is again crazy because this lady just gave birth.
Yeah.
She just squeezed a small human out of her body. Oh my God. And she's like walking around and she's just like, fucking hell yeah, I'm gonna fucking kill me one of these aliens.
She's got 2.
She's fucking killing it,
No,
dude.
she's got 3.
She's got 3.
She's got a heckin' body count. Cillian Murphy's catching up though. He's got 2.
He's got 2, yeah.
The daughter has 1.
Yeah.
With the melee kill, that kind of counts.
With the melee kill, that's like, I was like, damn, they must have real soft heads.
Yeah. And then the son,
he's got 1.
He got 1. So, you know, they all popped their cherries except for John Krasinski, the one competent one.
He never got one.
You know, that's disappointing.
Jim, come on, get on it. Well, he's dead.
Yeah, Lee Abbott.
Well, but also we don't know. No, they would have like.
If he knew how to kill one, it would have been in his little wall.
He'd be like, killed one.
So I thought the first movie was in Missouri.
I don't think.
What made me think? I thought I saw Missouri somewhere.
I can't help you.
Either way, if I told you the first movie was set in Missouri, you would believe me.
Yeah, I probably would have believed you. If you had told me before watching this movie and knowing it was set in like upstate New York, before you told me where it was, I would have believed you.
Yeah.
If you had been like, this is a movie set in Nebraska, I'd have been like, okay. Feels like a little hilly to be in Nebraska, but okay.
Well, Nebraska's hilly. It's just all fields, right?
I don't think Nebraska's very hilly.
Yeah, probably not. What did Squid say from Rocket Power? I feel like everything anyone knows about Nebraska is from what he because he always talked about Nebraska.
I know they're Cornhuskers.
Or was it Kansas? Kansas.
He's from
those.
Kansas. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he's from Kansas. If you told me that it was like in West Virginia, I also would have believed you.
Yeah.
If you told me anywhere along the Appalachian Mountain Range, I would have been like,
Yeah.
okay.
But the moment they mentioned that there's an island, obviously, okay, so they're on the coast.
Yeah.
And I want to pull up a map on my phone.
Pull up a map, dude.
I don't know if this will add anything for you guys.
I think it'll add
listening,
for us, but it'll be good. And you know what this is all for? It's for us. Sorry, guys. We love you. But today, we're doing it for us.
Yeah, so it's based in New York.
It's based in New York.
I bet one of the
which
newspaper clippings has Missouri in it or something.
Which is one of the things to me, and again, this movie is a lot of fun, and I absolutely think you should go see it. But they were like their DM was playing real fast and loose with the distances between stuff because
New York's coastline.
But where does it line up with the mountains?
New York's coastline is New York City and Long Island. New York doesn't have a coastline besides that.
But what about to the north and up? If they were to go through, because
the Appalachian Mountains do get closer to the coast the further north you go.
So they're probably upstate New York, because that's the other thing too.
I mean, maybe it was somewhere in the but there's not a lot of islands in the Great Lakes.
No, it wasn't the Great Lakes. It was out the ocean.
I'm telling you, it's very populous. Any coastline around New York it's New Jersey or Connecticut or Long Island.
Well, but up more up north. Look. What is it? Massachusetts, right above it.
I mean, New England makes sense.
Yeah. Well, also because John Krasinski, he's fucking loves the Patriots.
Yeah, so he's a New Englander.
He's a Boston boy.
I mean, it could be Connecticut. I could see Connecticut, but there's no mountains there. I don't know where this movie's set. Maybe
Where's Connecticut? Is Connecticut further north?
Connecticut is directly east of New York. It essentially is the coastline of New York.
Let me look at this. I'm looking at the map now.
I don't know where this movie's based.
I would say it's based off. I would say it's Rhode Island. I would say it's Rhode Island, and there's like there.
But Rhode Island's very far from any mountains.
Okay. All right. Well, what about?
What makes most sense is New Hampshire or Maine.
Yeah, but we saw New York pretty prominently. What about? No, that's New Jersey.
It doesn't make sense.
You're right. There is no fucking coastline.
I think first movie might have been Missouri.
But it said New York on the map, dude. Fuck off.
I know. I saw it too.
It's gotta be like Connecticut and like New York is on the bottom, because it's gotta be like Rhode Island. But see, that's the thing. It's like this is so far away. Anyway, We're picking this apart. It's bullshit. This is still fun. It's still good. But that was what I was gonna say. Is like, so she walks to town.
That's quite the detour we had.
She walks to town to get oxygen and like the supplies and stuff.
Stuff for her shitty son's shitty leg.
Yeah.
Shitty leg.
I'm trying not to agree with you. But
no, he's fine. I like the character actually. But he adds a lot of stress to the movie for me. Which is good.
So funny. It was so funny to watch to sit next to John watching this movie in the theater.
I get very stressed.
I love it. But
she's going back and forth.
So she's going back and forth, and she takes maybe 2 hours to get there and then 2 hours to get back.
Probably.
And it takes them maybe a day to get to the coast. You know?
Yeah, you think he said 2 days?
He said 2 days, but
and then the guy on the island, the little sanctuary island. So they find an island where people have been chilling.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Which is great.
Whatever.
Which is also
how do they get
like
electricity?
a big old slap in the face to Cillian Murphy's character. Who's like, there's no one left. And I love watching him like by the campfire. They're like, I'm playing with my doll.
I do want like what about the scavengers? Did they not think to take a boat to the island with the giant radio antenna that's glowing red?
They must not have played Far Cry.
I guess not. Like, that's another big. That's probably in terms of the story here. That's a big like.
But they also could have. They also could have like scavengers, raccoons, they find a good spot. They find a boat dock where people go to, and they're like, "And we're gonna take your stuff."
Yeah, maybe they're the reason that no one's showing up.
Yeah.
So that's probably what it is. You're right.
I mean, listen, and that's the thing is like, again, we could sort of like, hey, here's a little hole, and then it's like, well actually,
so I was
poke,
thinking,
slap back.
like poking a hole in Army of the Dead. It's not.
It's like paper thin. It's like wet toilet paper.
Yeah,
bud.
it's not like you're doing it because it's fucking stupid.
Fucking Van never got bit.
Yeah.
He never got bit. Well, we should
Also
because I think the more that I think about Army of the Dead, the more mad I get because the stupider it is.
It's so bad. Like, so Rise of Skywalker.
So-
I'm glad people like it. I think it's garbage.
Who likes it?
It offends me in a sense, but I'm glad people like. I'm genuinely happy people like it. Army of the Dead. I am actively frustrated if someone liked it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even happy for you. Like, I'm like, what is wrong with you? This movie is garbage.
Yeah.
It's but it's also not like unwatchable.
Yeah.
This other part though.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't like that movie very, very much.
Yeah, so we'll do a little Army of the Dead corner. We'll keep going back to Army of the Dead the same way we used to go back to Rise of Skywalker.
It's just a loop now.
It's the Army of the Dead is the new Rise of Skywalker, guys.
But it is also, yeah, we just did it. But it does kind of what I was trying to say was the holes you poke in this are because it's got you thinking.
Yeah.
You liked it. You're racing through the movie in your head. It's like, that was cool. Oh, wait a minute. I'm reevaluating this. Still cool. I get why they did it, but...
And I think, too, a lot of it is also like, well, why did she go into the train? But it's also like, because it created that tension inside of you, and it like built up, and you're like, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. Not like...
It's good filmmaking.
Yeah.
So that's where it's dismissible.
And I think that's where it's like it's just like, I'm just frustrated that she went in the train. I'm just frustrated that he went to go do Lookout to look for Mom.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, because, you know, and then you think about it, it's like, no, it kind of makes sense. You know, she's trying to bandage her feet. She's trying to, you know, do some stuff. Or, like, maybe she's, like, looking for a place that's getting towards the end of the day where she can, like, bed down and be safe for the evening. You know, she wants to take a poo-poo into some water.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And it's just like, okay. That, like, yes, we could undo our hole that we poked.
Yeah.
Because it is like more like just like, oh, I'm frustrated by the choice that you made.
Mm-hmm.
Like the same thing within the first movie where it's like the child playing with his fucking thing,
The spaceship.
his spaceship, and it's like, ugh, don't play with spaceship.
Yeah.
This is bad time to play with spaceship. Do not do this. No, wait till you go home and play with spaceship. Not in the road.
Or the batteries. I get why he placed them just to no noise. Put the batteries down.
Yeah.
The biggest issue there is that they let the toddler walk behind them.
Yeah.
Which I get for story and so that happened. That's not realistic.
Well, all right, here we go.
But
It's
she
like
she also calls back. She's like, I should have carried him. I would have free hands.
yeah.
All right.
Well, and also like it's like
Maybe they got
'cause
comfortable in the apocalypse.
That's what I was saying. It's
Yeah.
like that's what I was about to say. It's like a lot of the stuff is like the mistakes happen when you get comfortable. The
Yeah.
mistakes happen when you're like, all right, I think we've got this now. We've got our sand down. We've got our thing, and it's like, hey, you fucking got pregnant. Shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. You
What
got pregnant?
What are we gonna do? Pregnant.
Pregnant.
Pregnant?
So was this movie fun? You think this movie was fun? Part 2?
I enjoyed it.
You're not really a horror guy.
No, I wouldn't count this as horror.
I don't know if I was. This
It's
is
whatever
just kind of
Last of Us is. It's less horror than Last of Us.
It's like
I mean,
tension.
Yeah. I mean, if for some
Shocking.
reason you're one of the people who haven't seen this movie and you've listened, if you like Last of Us, you'd like this.
it's got that same vibe.
yeah,
Even as someone who
without a
hasn't
doubt.
played Last of Us.
There's even there's even a little girl father figure
Yeah.
kind of dynamic for a section of the movie, for a good half of the movie,
Yeah.
aka Joel and Ellie. So, you know, it's it made me excited for the Last of Us show, which I guess is going to be a lot less action than you would expect. They want to be very a person story
That makes
living in the
sense.
apocalypse, which I'm about. It's funny, like as I get older, I like the human drama and things, and
Yeah.
how humans deal with stuff way more than seeing the action. I mean, the most that gave me that epiphany is like I used to love war movies or like Lord of the Rings, and I loved the action battle scenes.
Yeah.
That's what I lived for. But when I would when I recently watched Lord of the Rings, I was like, I fucking love all this. I love the setup and the stakes and the
Yeah.
human element, and I watch I watch a lot of war movies. I stayed away from. I rewatched ones I didn't like because they didn't have as much action,
Yeah.
and I love them
Yeah.
way more than the ones that had all of the action.
Yeah.
So that's me to say I'm really looking forward to Last of Us, even if there's no action, because I'm about the human element and the
Yeah.
drama.
That's the thing that makes the action more
Better.
impactful. And that's one of the things that, if we just, is that this movie and both of these movies, Quiet Place 1 and Quiet Place Part 2, they're both so good because the filmmaking, like it's very simple. And I'm not saying that and like, cause you have to do so. It's like making a soup really well, where it's like you go to a restaurant and that's how you know if they're a good restaurant, if how they make a soup. If it's really simple, it's clean, it's good, and it's like all these.
Or how big their menu is.
Yeah, I guess.
Is that what you're alluding to?
No, it's not. No, but how simple the because there's no dialogue, because it's there, all the simple things, in like the slow push-ins, leaving the dead space in the frame, all
Even
those
when
things,
nothing happens.
even when nothing happens, because it's supposed to be there and it will be there, and like that's what gets you when the bird fucking jumps out, because something's gonna happen, and that bird fucking comes out, and the sound design too with everything, where it's just like
Sound design, it was kind of hokey, but I liked it still. So the girl's deaf, and when we kind of had a perspective of her, like the way she was seeing the world, and it really added a lot because you didn't know.
yeah,
You didn't know what was around the corner. Really cool. And then whenever she was not alone, she would get touched or she would.
I
she
love
would,
that element where
Yeah.
they're like, oh, they touch her and the sound takes over. Like we kind of switch perspectives.
It's not even like it's like she has her ears because she's with someone who has ears.
Yeah,
Not
I didn't think about it that way. That's
in
really
a sense. So I think that's why we're opened up because if it's just her on screen, then it's her perspective.
cool. Yeah,
And then when John Krasinski or Jim Halpert or Cillian Murphy,
the Scarecrow,
Scarecrow.
Cillian Murphy, yeah, or Cillian.
when they-
Murphy. It's probably Cillian. You're probably right.
I don't know. Yeah, because I think is it Scottish or
I'm pretty sure it's Gaelic.
Gaelic.
Because it
'Cause
might
I
be
think I
Cillian,
think
but Cillian
they're-
might be.
I think they
K.
have hard k sounds on their things. Maybe.
But there's a lot of. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of soft C's in Gaelic.
Oh, then I
But I also might be completely wrong.
don't know.
This is me saying that.
Just
if
have a
anybody
podcast
knows,
called the Expert Cast or something.
But
and
I
it's
might-
us just. It's like it's a shorter one because it'd be hard to stretch it out.
but I might be completely wrong.
But you're just making shit up. Like
that we do. That's an improv game that we
It is?
play. It's the experts. You're like,
oh,
yeah, if you want to make nuclear fission, blah 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 blah.
or in this
you
political
take,
climate.
you gotta take two doves, and you have to watch them have sex. It's very important that you watch these two doves have sex. Then
It releases pheromones in the air.
that
you gotta
you
capture
smell,
the-
because it's very scientific.
You got to capture the pheromones with it's interesting, but you take different coffee filters and you have to wove them together with wool. It's
Yep.
very important because wool has fibers that catch more than the thread.
Yeah.
So the coffee and the wool, you make a wide net. You catch those pigeon sex pheromones.
Yeah. And then
Then you put in the microwave.
and you put them in the microwave. And then when you're done, you'll have two atoms. It'll be
Well, an Adam and an Eve.
you'll have an Adam and an Eve. And you just go ahead and throw the Eve into the ether, and you have that atom, and you're gonna split him, and that's how you create nuclear fission.
Hire us, Russia.
There you go. And that is that's experts. That's our little mini podcast in the podcast. All right. So I do have a gripe, real quick.
Yeah.
Just in the movie industry in general, which also applies to Army of the Dead It applies to Quiet Place. It applies to literally anything with a monster. They all sound the fucking same.
Oh,
They're all
yeah.
like, they all do that fucking
Like a guttural kind of clicky.
No, they're doing clicky, but they also like the scream of them are all like variations of the Velociraptors or T-Rexes.
Oh yeah, Velociraptor like set it up.
Those are the two sounds. They either use like, which you can everybody knows that's like the deep version of it, but
Yeah.
again, it's like the same thing.
It's always vibrating too.
And then there's the.
I mean, say what you will about the prequels, but they definitely tried some things on the sound design, like that lizard creature that Obi-Wan rides. It's different.
Yeah.
It's goofy, but it's different.
But I would like to see more of that, and
Yeah.
like there's different ways because it's just like find something new because we just have this. The monsters sound the same.
Yeah. Well,
know?
even the music cues are pretty cliche.
Yeah.
It's whatever. Doesn't ruin enough for me, but
Doesn't-
yeah,
it doesn't-
I'm 100% there with you though.
It's still like the thing is, it's like it's still scary because it's a jarring noise. It is what it is, but I do think that we are capable of making more than one sound for our monsters.
Yeah.
And like just because monsters are lizardly doesn't mean that they all like even Godzilla
Godzilla's a little different.
a little bit.
It's like it has at least it has something, you know.
No, but it's gotten a change in the tone, but the like shape of it
Texture.
is still the shape and texture of it's the same.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like I'm not
There's-
saying that it's
There's
this,
so much nature out there to pull from.
Yeah.
You know, like Star Wars, like mix animal noises too.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure. Oh, that's that's Jurassic Park. They mix animals to make certain noises.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. What would you give it?
I'd give it 4.
Really?
4 maybe 4.25
Wow.
out of 5.
Nice. That's really high.
Yeah, for me especially.
I mean, I really liked the movie. I really like both. Like, I surprisingly
like-
really enjoyed them, and I gave
I
them.
might change it. I might get 3.75.
I gave them both. I think 3.5.
Yeah.
Might have given the first one 4.
I think I give the first one 4. I think I give this one 4.7.
That's not a 3.5 because
3.
it's a very flawed movie or because I had strong negative feelings. I just enjoy these, but I don't enjoy them at the same time because it's a very conflicting thing where I'm just stressing the fuck out.
I think the first movie is better.
I gave the first movie 3 stars. I need to bump that. I'll
Yeah,
probably bump that up to
up.
4.
Bump it up to 4, dude.
Just now that I have the relativity. So, what have you been watching?
I finished Succession.
I'm interested in that show.
It's
I think
a fun
you
show.
brought it up before.
I brought it up before. I've been watching it. I finished Succession. I feel like there was something else that I watched, but I can't remember.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
You're good.
I failed you.
Well, I watched A Quiet Place, obviously.
Oh.
Don't need to elaborate on that. I watched.
What's that about?
I watched Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Okay, I saw that just got on Netflix.
Yeah, I was
or-
like, fuck it, I'll watch it. I've seen it before, but I don't remember it.
It's a fun one.
I watched 2 movies last night.
Oh wow,
I'm on a movie kick.
he's killing it now.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, between May 1st through 17th, I watched 3 movies. Between May 22nd to today, the 31st.
9.
It's coming out 2 weeks before you hear this. Or
Time is relative. Don't worry
yeah.
about it. We're
Anyways,
all in
I'm watching a
space.
fuckload of movies since that time. Anyways, last night I watched Atomic Blonde. I've seen it before.
Nice.
I love the staircase scene is sick.
Yeah.
Very obvious hidden cuts, but it doesn't matter because the emotion that you get from long takes
Yeah.
or oneers rather
Yeah.
is so good. I love it. And then also watched the second Sicario movie, which I didn't know existed. I fucking love the first Sicario.
Yeah. First Sicario is great.
And I didn't know there was a new one. And it's not as good, but it's still fun to see Benicio del Toro be a badass Sicario, dude.
Yeah.
And Josh Brolin's character as the kind of don't give a fuck, goes there U.S. agent.
Yeah.
It's I love that. I love those kind of characters. I like it. The story the point of the story is that shit hits the fan or shit like everyone's a plan. Like it's just whatever. The world's a mess.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the story.
Yeah.
So none of it adds up in a way, or like it all is pointless in the end. Have you seen it?
I have not seen. I've seen the first one.
Okay.
I see the
I
first
still
one.
recommend-
It took me too long to see the first one.
I recommend the first one,
but
but
Denis Villeneuve, which I'm probably saying wrong, didn't direct the second one. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I mean it's got all the stops. Like they didn't, like Emily Blunt is in there, but it's because she doesn't need to be. She's not part of the story.
Yeah.
it's good. It's good. I liked it. Good gun porn.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Okay. How did you like in this movie the little boy shooting one-handed with accuracy enough to take off that alien's head?
He was close. I bought it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
The gun stuff's fine in this. It's very simple.
Yeah.
That's like also why I believe it's New York, because they have crazy gun laws and all the guns are just like hunting rifles and revolvers.
Yeah, I just think it's. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't. It doesn't bother me that much, like the positioning of it where it was.
It was pretty close.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it.
What I don't believe is the high stakes, stressful shot with the revolver. Maybe she's good at shooting revolvers. You either have it or you don't with them sometimes.
But she didn't. She had one hand. She shot it one hand.
Yeah, and she shot the oxygen tank.
Yeah.
From I'd say 12 yards, and it takes a long time to get good.
And I mean, she
shooting
can't
a handgun
practice.
accuracy, and you can't practice.
She can't practice.
It's a very shooting a gun is very
I don't know.
perishable.
I love me a mama bear that fucking pulls through in the clinch.
Again, it didn't bother me. None of the gun stuff bothered me.
Because again, I'll remind you, she did that maybe 5 days after giving birth.
Yeah.
5 days after she squeezed out a melon.
Oh, Emily Blunt's awesome.
She's fucking killing it. I love that she.
I want to rewatch. I just want to rewatch Edge of Tomorrow, where she's like Full Metal Bitch or whatever they call her.
Yeah, she's fucking killing it in that. The
MILF energy of her was very high in the opening scene. I know you were probably thinking it.
In this movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's just a pretty woman. I don't know.
She is a pretty. I mean, listen. Yes. 3 days removed from my birth again. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I think it's very funny that she's like, hey guys, I'm not gonna be fucking Invisible Woman. Fuck off. She said that where she's like, I don't care what you guys say. I'm not gonna do a Marvel movie.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and John Krasinski is like, please, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and give it to me.
I love to see him in stuff.
I do too.
I've seen
I think he would be a good Mr. Fantastic.
like 13 Hours. So it's like a Benghazi movie, and it's not good, but I keep coming back to it because I like watching him. I like watching Roy.
Yeah.
It's mainly the Office fan in me.
Oh, Roy is in Mayor of Easttown as like a serious actor, acting opposite.
It's a serious actor.
No, well, it's like interesting because it's like and it's like it's a role that fits him really well, and I was like, fuck yeah, Roy.
Yeah.
Getting some fucking.
You should watch 13 Hours. It's really.
I've actually wanted to because that's the movie that he got fucking ripped for.
Yeah. And then I think it gave him all the training to do the Jack Ryan series, which I enjoyed too.
Yeah, I love those books.
Yeah. Have you seen the Amazon show?
I haven't seen the Amazon show.
I haven't seen the second season, but I saw the first season. It's just a fun little. It feels like kind of a cheaper knockoff of the Bourne movies.
Okay.
Without the stupid camera shit.
Yeah, I think towards the end of that movie, towards the end of that series, I think that even Paul Greengrass was like, we went hard on those fucking camera shakes.
Yeah.
We maybe went too hard.
Ending on Paul Greengrass and Bourne, Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
Who wins in a fight, Jason Bourne, John Wick, or James Bond?
John Wick. It goes fuck, marry, kill. I'm gonna fuck James Bond. I got to. That's the way it's got to go.
He'd take care of you.
He'd take care of me for sure. Well,
and then he would leave you.
I'm gonna marry John Wick because he'll take care of me, and I'm gonna kill Jason Bourne because Jason Bourne. Listen, nothing against mental health, nothing against all that stuff. It's very important. Please don't, denigrate or make people bad. But I don't know if I could handle that.
You can't sign up for that.
I can't sign up for that.
I think
honestly, that there's so much brainwashing in his brain. I think that he would look at me and be like, "Thank you."
Yeah, and then F David Blaine, F James Bond.
Yeah.
Did you pick the F David Blaine?
I already
reference?
said.
Do you know that reference?
I don't think so.
Oh my God, David Blaine, F David Blaine. Like, you haven't seen that comedy skit?
No, I've seen that comedy skit.
Yeah,
it's been a minute.
I think at the end he's like F David Blaine or something
and there's
like
orange soda coming out of his mouth.
Oh, anyways, so off of
Anyway,
Paul Greenglass
say
and Jason Bourne and David Blaine.
As they say in Missouri, as they say in New York, Missouri.
Where the fuck USA?
Hey, I always do that.
I'm walking here.
I'm walking here.
Oh no.
Oh no, I'm getting murdered because it's too loud.